almost as important as muffling the bass drum appropriately is muffling the snare drum appropriately. So depending on what we're doing, whether we're recording, just practicing, playing live, there's going to be different ways that you're going to get the sound you want on the snare drum. Now, of course, tightening the batter head and the resonant head appropriately is going to be extremely important, as well as tightening the snares, which are controlled over here on the side. Additionally, though, there's many other ways that we can muffle that snare drum sound. One option is to get a product called, there's different types of gels that essentially go on the snare drum, usually on the batter head, and just kind of muffle the sound. So as you can see, a normal snare drum, once I get it in here, has a very resonant sound. We're going to want to muffle that sometimes. If we're recording, we're not going to want quite as much ring, and we might be able to control it just using the built-in controls on the snare, but we might need a little something else. Less popular among drummers is using duct tape. It's kind of seen as a not too professional way of recording, or at least it was, but the reality is that if you look at Modern Drummer Magazine, a lot of those magazines, there are a lot of drummers that say, listen, I know it's not great, but for recording, I'm going to use duct tape if it's what gets me the best sound. So figure out what works best for you, figure out what works best in the room that you're playing in.